rich people and there has to be poor people.
This is an economic issue.
Bring businesses back into the city.
Unemployment is a huge issue.
If you don't have any money, the government's not going to come in and help you.
It's a social problem.
Homeless kids in our school.
43 kids in a class, you can't teach.
You don't have a choice. There has to be a safety net.
Drug treatment, not incarceration.
More after school programs. The only assistance is prison.
People are going to find ways to survive because they're not going to just die.
Lost a lot of people over this drug thing.
Just gangs that get out of hand. Record numbers of murders and shootings.
They see all this opportunity out here and they're getting shut out of it. They're going to find a way to get in.
The state took the numbers and give us the drugs.
All hustling ain't bad hustling. They know how to survive.
They don't have a choice.
Newark and Oakland, two of the most challenged cities in America. Crime, corporate abandonment, failing schools, and hopelessness plague these cities and many like them. For the next hour, I'm going to give you an inside look at these cities under fire. Cities with struggles that I understand all too well. As an ex-offender, I too faced what seemed to be insurmountable odds, but I made it out. I'm Greg Mathis, I'm a judge, and these are the mean streets.
The street is unmerciful. It's more brutal than ever before. It will take you and devour you right in front of everyone. The street lacks little, if any, humanity.
We're going to travel to Newark and Oakland to take measure of the quality of life of those living in our communities. We're going to listen to the problems and ask for solutions from those who are best equipped to tell the story. We'll also be joined by Newark's own Bill Bellamy and Oakland's Mark Curry. They'll travel with us back to their hometowns to see if,
Now when you look out here, look at this like nothing, man.
and how things have changed.
Wow.
These cities have beautiful parks, majestic houses, and business districts brimming with promise and possibility. Alongside these visions of hope are the stark realities of life in the big city. Substandard housing, poor education, soaring unemployment, violent crime, and drugs. It is often said that a society is judged by the way it cares for its most vulnerable. Today, all of us who live in the city are at risk. These are the mean streets, and these cities are under fire. First up, Newark, New Jersey. Today, the largest city in New Jersey is still a major East Coast distribution nucleus with a busy shipping port, trucking hub, and an international airport. During Newark's heyday, its population swelled to almost 500,000 people. By 1966, Newark had a population majority of African Americans, a change more abrupt than any other northern city in America.
Because of the downturn in the economy after the Second World War, Newark has not reinvented itself. It was once an industrial giant. Manufacturing was king.
The worst race riots since those 2 years ago in the Watts section of Los Angeles rocked New Jersey's largest city, Newark, for 5 consecutive days and nights. At least 24 persons are killed. More than 1,800 wounded, some 1,400 arrested.
Newark erupted in violence in the 1960s. The uprising, or rebellion, if you will, sent the white middle class fleeing to the suburbs. The corporations followed, and this city's fortunes spiraled downward.
Newark has a third of the population lives below the poverty line. We have between 10 and 20% of our population only that has college degrees, and so it becomes a challenge. And as you mentioned before, you know the problems in Detroit. In Newark, we had a manufacturing base that was like a lot of sort of older cities that left due to automation.
I heard you say that manufacturing industry has left, but you said it in a tone and in a description as if to say that it was a natural process. They're taking your tax base after they've sucked all the money out of the city. Don't you think they have some corporate responsibility?
I put the blame really squarely on government. I understand corporations, they operate on a profit principle. And if it's more profitable to close down things in the inner city and send them to India, they're going to do that.
Mr. Banks, tell me about your job with the oil company. And what happened in terms of, did you retire from there and get a pension? Tell me what happened in it.
The company sold out. They didn't take no oil drivers.
That's what you were, an oil driver?
I was an oil truck driver. They didn't take no all truck drivers, and they gave
you a buyout?
two or 3 weeks salary and sent you on your way.
2 or 3 weeks?
After 20 years there. When I went to that company, the company was bankrupt. And we took them out of bankruptcy when they sold it for something like $15–20 million.
And gave you all 2 or 3?
2 or 3 weeks service.
But you got a big pension or?
No pension.
No pension?
No pension. They didn't have no pension.
We live on my pension and 2 Social Securities.
Drug treatment, not incarceration.
Lost a lot of people over this drug
The
thing.
state took the numbers and gave us the drugs.
This drug thing is going crazy.
You got young kids around violence. You gotta walk to school around violence. You gotta go to school around drugs. You can't play in your backyard or your front porch.
My name's Adrian Washington, and I'm a Newark native. The house behind me is my family's old house. For the most part, everybody in the family lived in it. Everybody. Like a lot of families in Newark, drugs, alcohol, just the community's downfall starts to affect the family. A lot of families have to resort to things that most people shouldn't. And one of those things is drugs. We lost our property, we lost our family connection, and we lost a lot of good people, over this drug thing. That's pretty much all I have to say about this house.
I wish I could sit down with Mayor Booker and ask him a few questions.
Next up, the exciting new mayor who is fighting to make change in a city of angels who need wings, next door to the city that never sleeps. We speak with Mayor Cory Booker of Newark, New Jersey.